Along those lines, I am going to pull part of his bio because to me, there's a family theme that's throughout this whole evening tonight. There's no doubt about it. And sometimes the family is the other lives that you've touched. But for someone to have coached just about every single year for 36 years and do so without any children involved shows you another terrific level of commitment. And that is our next inductee. It's Jake Hinterser, and he's going to be our next inductee into the St. Louis Amateur Hockey Hall of Fame. What I was able to find out from him, and I think you're going to see evidence of this in the picture in the program, is apparently he has no internal thermometer. Two rinks that he'd always end up coaching at were Granite City, that's an outdoor rink, and then the Afton rink, which you all know you could sit on the benches there and pretty much freeze your tuchus to the seat. So that being the case, apparently he had some allergic reaction to long sleeves or any coat or jacket or anything along those kind of lines. He was always on the ice. He had short sleeves. He never wore a jacket, and apparently today still doesn't wear a jacket, but we do appreciate the fact that tonight you broke the code and decided to wear one anyway. Jake, congratulations, and welcome to the St. Louis Amateur Hockey Hall of Fame.
Believe it or not, I was threatened if I don't wear a suit and coat, they weren't my children weren't coming, okay?
This is all about being real, so can I have your coat, please? Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Hinterser.
I also want to thank the Hockey Hall of Fame board. They've done a wonderful job, people. You just don't know how many lives have touched my life and how many of these first inductees and these second inductees that throughout the years we were friends, but our main object was the children and teaching them how to play hockey. So I congratulate you, the board. In my opinion, you've done a tremendous job, and I'm just so happy to be here tonight and to be one of you. I'd like to take this time to congratulate Jim Joe Sr. Jim was named the Hockey Man of the Year by the High School Association. I'm fortunate because I knew Jim for quite a few years. I admire him and I respect him. And I thank you, Jim, for allowing me to coach your children, your grandchildren, but I can't coach your great-grandchildren. As Bruce said, I've been involved in hockey for over 40 years and coaching most of it. My kids are now coaching, playing. To me, hockey is the greatest sport in the world. And I want to tell you something, St. Louis is a hockey town. I went to many towns and they didn't even, scouts told me, well, we don't go to St. Louis, there might be one boy there, you know, we'll go to Boston or somewhere. But they're here now, and as Bruce said, many of our kids have gone to college and even in the NHL. My time in hockey started when my oldest son, Andy, had a reading assignment in the first grade. He was supposed to read something in the newspaper. He cut out a little article saying that they were forming a hockey team in Granite City, Illinois. Dad, can I play? Well, we'll see. The Granite City Ice Rink was built as a speed skating and figure skating rink. There was no hockey in there. There was no locker rooms. And after 2 years, 20-some-odd kids started skating at 5 o'clock in the morning. And in 1968, I joined this group to decide that we would put a charter together and ask to play in the Missouri Amateur Hockey Association. Little to known that Bill Hodge, Roy Weaver, and myself presented that charter to the Missouri Amateur Hockey Board. Matter of fact, Dave Gardner was the president at that time. Little known that I would become the president of the first president of the organization. In my 10 years as president of that organization, I served as scheduler, tournament chairman. There were so many great people there. That organization grew from them 20 kids to 16 kids within a matter of 10 years. We had great people working there. We did a lot of things to help the children play hockey. We held raffles, we held dances, we held tournaments. We did this thing called a turkey shoot that really brought in a lot of money, okay? We bought out a couple of small sporting goods stores of their hockey. We give the kids new and used equipment in the Learn to Play program. because we wanted to see them have the experience to play the great game of hockey. Early on in my life, my wife mentioned to me, I shouldn't go into business. You see, every year I would drive to Peoria and buy dozens of hockey sticks, Kitchener hockey sticks that came down from Canada via a train. I would charge the kids the exact price that I paid for them. When I started replacing the sticks, not good. In the earlier years of Missouri amateur hockey, we tried so many programs. We tried so many accelerated programs, and my children all became on accelerated programs, and at one time we had so many schedules that I decided that it was time to give up the presidency. It was at a midget tryout camp that for an elite program one of these nights, or one of these days. My middle son, Chris, was chosen as a goaltender. The people from Afton came and said, "We don't have a coach, would you coach us?" Little to be known, 20 years later, I was making a 20-year commitment at that time. I had many teams in Afton. We had much success and we had much failure. But Afton, Jackie Haas stood behind me in all my coaching endeavors, and she was my mentor. One of my most unique experiences coaching hockey is one year a man by the name of Joe Staley asked me to coach a deaf hockey team. There was a deaf hockey tournament. Stan Mikita was putting it off in Chicago, so I went. We lost our first game. We tied our second game, and then we won our third game. This was the first game that that team had ever won. You can't imagine the locker room. As Joe signed to them to thank them for having me come up there and coach, they all went, "I love you." I had to leave. Yeah, they signed to me that they love me. I'll always remember. I really didn't pride myself on winning. I prided myself on teaching kids how to be winners and losers, especially in life. I always stretched good grades. I just always said no swearing whatsoever, because I didn't coach. I didn't swear. I always wanted them to respect the other team, respect their parents, respect authority, most of the referees, that is. I wasn't the greatest skater, okay? But I always had players that would skate and do the drills for me. I wanted to teach other kids how to coach and how to be involved in this great sport of hockey. One of my greatest joys is to see that many of my kids that I coached, they're now married. Many of them are coaching. Many of them have children playing hockey. And it just thrills me to see that I was a little part within their life. I would like to thank the people that are closest to me, my family, my oldest son and his wife Dana and his stepdaughter Sammy's here. My middle son, she was with me the whole way. She had patience, and she understood me, and she understood how much and how important hockey was to me. We're going to be celebrating our 50th anniversary later this year. It'll probably be at some rink somewhere. I want to thank you for making this night something that I will always remember. It's beyond my wildest imagination. And I'll always tell you, I love you. That's what you're in.